I didn't have a team, so I didn't have like stakes in the game. But then, I found out that all of these Argentine players were on Manchester City, and I missed the Aguero moment. But coming back from that, I was like sky blue and white. I think I gotta get back into it. I just felt the calling, and it was like an itch. I like I needed it more than any American football game, than any baseball game that could go. I remember the Astros went to the playoffs one year, and I was like, I could give a shit back then. Like
Yeah.
it didn't hit me nearly as hard as what he did, especially that 2014 World Cup, dude. That was hook, line, and sinker. That Argentina team, I'll love them forever. I'll love them forever. I'll never forget that.
It's the
Never.
final. I don't think any well, you say Argentina fan, but I think if you were a Barcelona supporter, if you were a
Oh yeah.
Messi supporter in any form or fashion, you just wanted to see him finally, achieve football, as they say
Yes.
now. Dude, it was like, who wasn't, unless you were a Germany fan, you were probably cheering on Argentina. And
Yeah.
with how it all ended, it obviously is a little disheartening. You're still proud of the team. It is what it is. I'm just curious from your perspective. I ask a lot of Argentines this. Do
Yeah.
you hold anything against Gonzalo Higuain from that day?
Dude, I've had this idea for a video cooking for a while about the rise and fall of Gonzalo Higuain. Pipita, he deserves so much more, but at the same time, I could totally understand the argument as to, he's made his bed. But I think that World Cup broke him. I think it broke him because, at Napoli, the guy was just a freak, scoring goals for
Mhm.
free. Like, that was awesome, especially to see him on Napoli,
Yeah.
Maradona's team, to see him doing that next to Cavani and who was it, Mandzukic too. Like, I really liked. Was it Mandzukic? No, I'm thinking Hamsic. Hamsic.
Oh,
The
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He had
Hamsich,
the
yeah.
fucking yeah,
The crazy mohawk,
the
yeah.
crazy mohawk. I just really like those guys, and I like that team, and I had a lot of respect for Higuain. And honestly, early on in the World Cup, getting to that final, he got us there. He got us there, I think. Aguero definitely wasn't the right option, as much as that pains me to say.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Aguero just wasn't really producing. Higuain stepped up, but then we got to that final, dude. What was it? It was an offsides, an injury that could have sent him off the pitch, probably concussed him pretty severely. Taking a Manuel Neuer knee to the face, dude.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that.
And
But
then
the
to
guy,
miss, and then from there, you could tell just affected his play all the way around. And to miss the way he missed, it was just,
oh,
I can
dude.
only imagine being like in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, watching on a giant screen with a million people and just being like on the verge of tears because the moment's slipping away from you. And it's
Oh
just,
yeah.
I don't know, man.
And it
I
was
felt
it
it.
was like that. It was like you had all this hope in your hands, and I just felt it like falling through the cracks. And there's like a moment where you're like, this is either going to penalties or we're gonna lose. And you watch like this team who, but frankly, had no business competing with that star-studded Germany team. Like, what an incredible team that
What a
Germany
great
team.
game in
It was
general.
so damn good. Like, it was absolute battles scenes in the Flynn household. It was absolute madness. And there were only three of us. It was my dad, my grandfather, and me watching the game upstairs in our game room. And dude, I mean, the Netherlands semifinal, that was like a drug
Yeah,
watching that
man.
game. The penalty shootout, and then Romero. Oh my God, saving that. Oh my God, he
Dude.
sent us through. And my grandfather was already an elderly guy. Like, he was pretty tired. He's very like put together. He always talks like this, and he's very, very gentlemanly, put together guy. He doesn't really show much emotion, but dude, when we made it through, I remember he like jumped up out of this like IKEA bouncy elastic chair. It was just like, ah la final, and he was jumping. I never seen my grandfather jump before,
Dude.
and I was just like so high on like the emotions, and I was like, this is it. Like, people make they say like, oh, it's just a game all the time, but in that moment, like, I was Argentine for probably the first real moment in my life, and I felt this kinship with my father and grandfather that I just, not that I'd never felt it. I feel like they're very, loving guys, but oh my God, I had just never been that ecstatic with somebody before, and
It was
then
different.
it was like holding that hope for something almost twice as good and just feeling it like slip out of the fingers. And then, oh my God, when Goetze came on and he scored that goal from the corner. Oh my God.
He'll never
Oh
have to buy another beer in Germany ever again.
no, dude. Never. And I remember like ever since then, honestly, sometimes still, like I'll watch the highlights from that game and I'll just be like, "Oh my God, Neuer, that should have been a foul. Goetze, we should have been marking him." Like there was a picture that came out with his girlfriend where he's got like the little Speedo on and he's like hugging,
Wow.
kissing her, and they're like, "Oh, Goetze's vacationing well with his supermodel girlfriend." And I was like, "Fuck that guy. Damn it."